Hi, this is Susie Cheel and welcome to the Abundance Show, where we talk about how we love ourselves into abundance so we can live a life of freedom and prosperity, wealth in all areas. And today I have my life and business partner, Des Walsh, here with me. Hi, Des.
Hi, Susie.
Would you like to just give people a little bit of info? Because not everybody I know most people on my wall probably know you, but there'll be people who've never, who's this guy that she's sitting next to?
Yeah.
So.
You want me to talk about myself?
I want you to give, a short
bio.
A short bio.
Well, as well as being your significant other, which is most important.
Oh, it is most important. Just to let people know, we've been together for 31 years.
Yep.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, never a dull moment. I'm a kind of digital entrepreneur, I suppose you'd say, and particularly an affiliate marketer. And I have a great passion to support people who want to create sustainable and scalable business online. Real business, going to 6-7 figures and more, and helping them understand. Sorry, yeah,
that sounds very exciting.
Helping them get the right mindset and skill set to achieve that and sustain it. Is that all right?
That sounds fantastic. I'm just trying to find this online, so I can actually share it. And
okay. So Susie's doing the tech stuff.
I'm doing the tech stuff.
I'm going to do the thing they do on television where there's a bit of a lull and they have to do a filler.
Well, you've got to do a filler because I've just, hi Sylvia. Sylvia lives in London.
Hi Sylvia. Yeah,
and she's a big fan of mine.
A guy who was a specialist in TV presenting once explained to me that one of the hardest things to do is to comment on a yacht race, because especially if there's no wind, because you're trying to fill in, you're trying to talk all the time. So that people think there's something happening when the boats are all just sitting there without the wind. That's just a bit of trivia. So how are you going there, Susie?
I've just about got it. I'm trying
You've got an expectant audience here.
I have one expectant.
Wanting to know what is happening.
What is happening? This show is all about words.
It is about words.
It's about the words we've chosen for the year. Last week,
or have the words chosen us?
Or have the words. Well, the words.
That's an interesting thing, isn't it?
The words did choose me.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether. Oh, yes, I did bring my words that chose me. I did an exercise where the words actually did chose me. I started off with. I decided to break the rules this year, not just have one word.
How unusual for you to break the rules.
And out of meditation, and I was journaling one day. I thought, allow abundance. A flow into freedom. But then I did another exercise with a friend of mine called Amy Davison.
There's 5 words.
There's 5 words, okay. We were told somewhere the other night only use 4 words. And I did an exercise, which is here, which is a bit hard to see there. But the words that came to me were free and wild. So that's what my words, and I'm going to paint these. But what I wanted to do now is talk with Des about the word he's chosen, or the word that chose
me.
He feels the word that chose him.
For 2020.
For 2020.
Just before I tell you about that, I think that I've been thinking about this, knowing Susie wanted me to come on this show. Thank you for inviting me. That we can pick a word which is, I think it's really valuable to pick a word which in the neuro-linguistic programming they would talk, is it a going away from or going towards? And I think it's really important to pick a going towards word, because that will attract us to move forward. Whereas if we've got something we want to get rid of, like if we say no more cigarettes, or no more procrastination. All the law of attraction people here will know that's really asking for trouble, because what your subconscious is hearing is procrastination or cigarettes or whatever. So pick a word that is going to draw you forward. And I had a coaching session which was really profound with a coach, and we talked about the fact that I'd had an experience. I shared an experience where I thought that somebody asked me I was actually face to face with this guy. We'd been talking about coaching. He knew that I was looking for new clients. He knew that I worked in his sphere of executive coaching, coaching executives. And he said, "Can you recommend a coach for me?" And I said, "It's an interesting question." I said, "What about me?" He said, "Oh no, you're too nice." I thought, some people wouldn't say that, who've been on the receiving end of when I wasn't being too nice. But I thought about that a lot, and I thought, well, why don't I balance? That may be the perception people have. So, and maybe I've been behaving too nicely, in a sense of not having a right balance in terms of who I am, how I wish to be in the world and in business. And so I thought, let's balance that by having a word which is a bit of a contrast, if you like, or another aspect, and that's where the word bold came from. So bold is my word. Being bold. Susie doesn't have any trouble with being bold. Sometimes I back off a bit, and this year I'm into being bold. Stepping up, stepping out.
Stepping up and stepping out.
How's that?
Because people think of him as being beautiful and gentle, which he is. As a friend of ours, Stephanie, said, the beautiful, gentle man. But I can tell you, he can be, and he can be very firmly bold. Like last week when I wanted to drop the bundle and throw everything away, and he found a solution. But one of the wonderful thing was...
called tough love.
Yeah, he's good on the tough love. He's not the nicest. When somebody said he's too nice. So the word, how's this for a word?
Yep.
Over the years, have painted very different words. You can see behind us we've got love.
Yep.
And those of you who know my cards, well, there's a lot of words here. But I've actually given Des a bold card for him to have. But I remembered I had chosen the word bold one year, so I had painted this. So I'm going to frame this for Des, and he will have it in his office.
So Susie's made an interesting point here. You don't have to just have one word. So for argument's sake, I could have chosen, harking back to what I just said about moving away from, moving towards, I could have chosen to have my word. If I took a phrase, I could say 4 words: no more too nice, or no more Mr. Nice Guy. That's not the way I want to operate. I want to say more bold, not no more. No, get rid of the word no out of your word or phrase for the year. Is that a good idea? Good
yes.
Advice?
We don't
Because that's your whole law of attraction.
Yeah,
thing,
we
isn't
don't want the words
don't,
not, or no.
If you put down a phrase for that, get rid of those words and see what you come up with.
That's right.
Is that right? See, I've learned a few things from you.
And I know Sylvia, who's watching, is oh no, I'll leave that. Sylvia, who's watching, her word is, I think your word is strength. Because I asked people in my group and on my page last week what their words were. And I'm going to share a post after this where I put everybody's words into surrounding a heart. And you can see whether your word is there or not. But we'd love to see, what have you got a word? And have you chosen a phrase that maybe goes with it as well? Des, do you think you'll have a phrase that goes with bold?
Oh, I just have 2 words. More bold.
More bold.
Yeah.
I love that. That's really good. So,
well, and I can apply that in my coaching. I sort of just check myself. Am I being direct enough? Because sometimes a coach needs to point out what you see as maybe a contradiction in your client, and what they're saying and what they said last week. So coaches have to be firm sometimes. not just you know.
That's just right.
Yeah.
Hi, Nancy. So what I want to do first now is, before I tell you how you can actually, somebody asked me the other day, oh, I haven't done that yet. Well, I'm going to share, still January, we're going to be doing it. So I'm just going to show you some of the words I've painted over the years. This is free.
Yep.
I actually did this.
A beautiful rainbow.
Was a beautiful rainbow, and this was for somebody called Shalani, a friend of mine who in the Heart Whisperer Empire. I've got the word yes. That'd be quite a good word for people to have for the year.
Good word.
To say yes to them, very much to say yes to themselves. Another, of course, naturally, I've painted lots of love words. One year we've got lots of words here. We've got joy.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Joy is a great word, and somebody has got that. This word be, and actually I might put all of these up on my page.
Yeah.
This one, that would be wonderful for somebody who really needs to step into loving themselves. I've just thought who I might send that one to.
And you've got one of your paintings up on the wall that says love.
Yeah, I love that one. Yeah, that's my favourite. Change.
Yeah.
And then we come back to the big paintings, which I've got there is courage. Must have been, there's the word courage.
Yeah.
And I remember doing this one. Trust.
That's a good one.
And that the year I had trust, I had simple flow, trust oneself, but keep life simple, flow, ease and grace.
Yeah.
So
all good words, wonderful words.
All wonderful words. But what I am going to do is, we have. This is our group, but Des is leading this group. This is a group called the Freedom Gang.
Yes.
And I will drop the link in here. Now the Freedom, Des, do you want to just give people a little bit of information about the Freedom Gang?
Freedom Gang. The Freedom Gang is because so many people want freedom, whether they want time freedom, they want money freedom, they want freedom from, some people want freedom from having to do what they used to call a 9-to-5 job, which is often, like 7 till 9 or something these days. People working so hard, getting home after dark, leaving before the sun comes up. People want also different kinds of freedom. Freedom to travel a lot. And so what we have is a group which is about how you get that freedom through creating a sustainable, scalable online business. Not just a little, you can do it as a sideline, a side hustle, as a lot of our younger friends like to call it, or your main business, or you can just come into this group and learn how, with whatever business you've got, you can become more expert at promoting it online, because we have years and years of experience in that field, and we have top coaches we're working with, and anything that we haven't heard of, we learn. And we're doing very intensive coaching ourselves, being coached very intensively by some amazing people, and we're passing that on. So if you're in that group, then we'll be sharing a lot and having conversations with the people in the group about how, if you have any interest in having business online, you can learn there and compare notes with people. Hey, I'm trying out this approach with my Facebook posts. What do you think about it? And we can give some considered suggestions on that. So that's the Freedom Gang, and we will be using that also to promote some business of ours. But it's spam free. You're not going to be bombarded with a whole lot of people wanting to sell you their stuff. And it's going to be tightly run, because with any group I run, I always have rules so that the group is a safe space, and people are free to talk freely and not be subject to rudeness or abuse or whatever. So it's going to be great.
It is going to be great. Hi, Nancy. Nancy's a friend of mine that I met when I went to Vancouver.
Oh, lovely.
A Law of Attraction
Yeah.
friends, who lives in Chicago, I think.
Little Queens.
Yeah, we were. Oh, you're right. Yes, we were all the queens together, Cynthia, Nancy, and I.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to be doing next week in the Freedom Gang is I'm going to do a, was it 2020 Freedom Activation. I'm going to do an exercise with everybody so we can, if you haven't got your word, I'll be doing some things on my profile page to make sure everybody has got their word. And bring your words and we'll do what's called, yes, a freedom activation so that you can get to feel within here